Hello there. It's been a stormy start to the weekend's weather in Europe with Storm Arwen, which moved across the UK, bringing gusts of winds in excess of 90 miles an hour. It's now pushing through Germany, the Low Countries and down across the Pyrenees into northern Spain. It's dragging much colder air. Significant snow is likely to fall here through the weekend. We'll also see significant snow across the Alps. Heavy rain at the same time, still continuing across southern Italy, the Balkans and into Greece. So it does look likely that Turkey, along with the Greek Isles, should be fine and quiet for Sunday. There's that wetter weather I was talking about. There's the heavy, significant snow across the Alps. We could see almost a metre of snowfall before the weekend is through. And here are those temperatures way below where they should be across much of Spain and Portugal. It's bitterly cold as well. France, Germany, the Low Countries, Poland, up into Scandinavia. The cold air really locked into place here. And as we move into Monday, we'll see snow pushing out of Finland over towards Russia. So it is quite an unsettled picture over the next few days to come. Let's take a look at some of the city forecasts, see if there's much of an improvement. Temperatures are going to stay disappointing in Spain right throughout the week, but it will be a little bit milder for London and Paris as we go through the middle part of the week, but that will come with some rain around as well. It stays cold with snow showers across to Moscow for most of this week. Hello there. A cold front brought a cold plunge of air to some eastern states in North America. As you can see quite clearly, it is now starting to drift its way a little bit further north and east and allowing slightly less cold air to tuck in behind, affecting the Carolinas to parts of Georgia. We have got this area of high pressure building across California. That's keeping things largely fine and quiet. The Santa Ana winds easing in comparison to of late. And there's also a good slice of dry, sunny weather in the offing. But once again, we've got this relentless feed of moist air coming in off the Pacific Northwest. Once again, we are going to see further heavy snow or rain, mostly affecting the far north of British Columbia, but stretching down into Washington state as well. Once you get into Oregon and down through California, it's a dry, quiet picture, and our city forecast for the next few days shows that quite clearly, with temperatures into the mid-70s for Los Angeles. By contrast, we keep that rain going into Vancouver and Seattle. Now, across the eastern seaboard, lake effect snow an issue here. Still there on Sunday, still in that colder air. The cold air pushing into New York and Washington. Not as cold as it can be at this time of year, but nevertheless, a bit of a shock to the system. Little less cold, but rather cloudy across the Carolinas and into Florida. So Atlanta, Georgia will see those temperatures back up, perhaps into the mid-teens. The cold air continues further north. Hello there. Some countries in South America have seen a bit of a roller coaster ride with the weather over the last few days. Some warm weather and then some stormy weather. That's exactly what we're going to see in northern Argentina, associated with this area of clouds. So after some warmth, we could see some real thundery downpours developing, and they're all going to push their way steadily north and east through Sunday and into Monday. Now, further north of that, we have continued showers here, some of them merging together for longer spells of rain. Heaviest ones across Venezuela and into Colombia. Also across western Brazil, we've seen some pretty intense rainfall just recently. So a little more unsettled through Paraguay and Uruguay in comparison to earlier on in the weekend. There's the thundery downpours into Buenos Aires as well. Not as warm as it has been into northern Chile. Further south, we've got some showery rain. But it does look likely that the rain in Buenos Aires will ease, and once again the temperatures bounce back up to where they were a few days ago. Thunderstorms set to arrive into Brazil from Tuesday onwards. Mexico, largely fine, largely quiet at the moment. Across the Yucatan Peninsula, dry and settled. Once we get down into the far south of Central America, Costa Rica, Panama, here we will see some heavier showers. A few isolated showers across the Caribbean, not amounting to too much, but on the whole, San Jose looks likely to stay pretty wet throughout the week. Strong winds could be quite a feature across the weather for North Africa this weekend. If we take a look at the satellite picture, you can see the cloud. There'll be some poor visibility, some lifted dust, few rogue showers as well. Ahead of it, it's driving up some warmth, so unseasonably warm temperatures for Cairo over the next few days. By contrast, further south, we've had warnings out for gales down through South Africa, some sharp showers. They're easing away through the eastern portion of South Africa, up through Botswana and into Mozambique. So that's the story as we go through the weekend. Let's take a look at what to expect through the week ahead. The showers will ease in Cape Town, a drier story, a little bit quieter over the next few days. Unseasonable warmth into Cairo, temperatures 33 degrees, way above where they should be. But with the strength of the wind, it's still cool and disappointing into Casablanca. But the weather story will gradually improve. Things a little bit quieter, a lot quieter in actual fact, across the Middle East. Most of the weather action moving through Turkey, but elsewhere it's a good deal of dry, sunny weather. We have been talking about a localised shamal in recent days. It's still there, not particularly strong, but nevertheless may bring some poor visibility at times, particularly down through those Gulf state countries. So this is our city forecast for the next 5 days. On the whole, largely fine and dry with temperatures into the low 30s. Hello there. Weather warnings remain in place for South Asia until the end of Monday because of some very heavy, persistent rainfall. It's been quite relentless for the last few weeks, and you can see the rain-bearing cloud on the satellite picture. Worst affected areas certainly going to be Sri Lanka, up through Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. But that Kerala coastline will also stay pretty wet at times, along with the islands of the Maldives. Now, further north and west of that, it's a quieter story. We've got a good slice of sunshine through northeastern states, across into Pakistan, along the Himalayas as well. Central Asia, it's all about the cold into Kazakhstan. Temperatures will start to pick up a touch, but there could be more significant snow over the next few days to come. We're seeing a good deal of fine weather and not quite as warm, not quite as cold for those countries to the east of the Caspian Sea. Over into northwest Pakistan, down into the Kerala coastline here, we will see some intense rainfall, as I've already talked about. So this is where the weather warnings remain in force. Stretching up into northeastern states, along with the Himalayas, it's going to stay pretty quiet. Here's our city forecast, and a few showers into Mumbai later on in the week. Chennai, along with Colombo, stays very wet indeed. Now, it does look likely that the cold air will start to ease, but there is a risk of some snow showers Thursday into Friday in Kazakhstan. Hello there. A forecast for Australia and New Zealand all coming up shortly. But first of all, let's start off with a satellite picture looking at Asia. You can see where the extensive shower cloud is across Malaysia and Indonesia, and some of that really quite heavy over the next few days. But further north, it's all been about high pressure that's kept things relatively quiet. That will change as we move into next week. Ahead of it, we've got some warmth through the second half of the weekend developing. Dry and settled across Japan, the Korean Peninsula, across Beijing and into Shanghai, even Hong Kong, 23 degrees the high here. Some heavy rain across southern Vietnam and into Thailand. Indonesia, along with Malaysia, pretty unsettled over the next few days. Now, the city forecasts show a good deal of dry weather, but a change to come into Beijing with some heavy rain and a drop in temperature from Monday onwards. Now, let's take a look at Australia, where we've had some warm air pushing in across Western Australia, and that's feeding its way a little bit further east. So certainly an improving picture for parts of Victoria and New South Wales. Still some sharp showers to come across that Queensland coastline. The remnants of the rain easing through the South Island of New Zealand. We will see some wet weather pushing into Wellington, but that will slowly clear as well. So the city forecasts show an improving picture in terms of the feel of the weather for Sydney and for Melbourne, but more rain by the end of the week. The rain easing in Wellington from Thursday.